right, welcome everyone to the Onward VR Master League. I'm your host, Monorchid, and I'm joined today by my co-caster, Theta.
Hey there.
Together, we're excited to be bringing you this Entity versus Legionnaires matchup, Season 10, Week 7. And we'll see how it goes. What do we got for Map 1?
We are starting with Subway today. I know we're both
Subway,
excited
I love
about
Subway. So excited. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, VR Master League, VR Cover, Pro2, Rebuff Reality, Fixed Gaming, Cyber Shoes, V Haptics, and you guys. Thanks for coming along with us today. What do we got for the first ban?
Well, the home team, which is Entity, is banning Cargo today.
Cargo. Get that on here. And what do we got for the for Legionnaires?
Well, this will make you put some pep in your step, but they are banning Suburbia.
Suburbia! Woo! What an interesting set of bans right here. I don't know if I've ever seen this set of bans, Cargo and Suburbia. Have you? This is highly abnormal.
Yeah, everyone seems to love both of those. And I'm looking at their stats right now. I'm assuming these are bans for weakness because both of them don't have very good win percentages on either of those. Or I don't know if they just don't want to do close quarters or what it is. But I would understand banning for weakness based on their win percentages on both of those maps.
Whatever reason it is, I'm happy.
Indeed.
And also just having a Subway game 1. Wow, that's... Nobody generally picks this map starting out. Like, it's just not a favorite of most teams.
Well, there's only one team I know of that likes to pick that first, and it's Mayhem.
So I'm excited for this matchup today. Alrighty, so anytime now we'll be getting started here. Just so everyone is aware, Entity chose to take Volk advantage, so Legionnaires will be Marsoc today, the first round. And the second one, actually, as well, since they'll be choosing the second map. What do you think of taking Volk advantage, Theta?
Yeah, it seems to be happening more and more lately. And I don't know, it's a little unorthodox. There's a variety of different perspectives around that. You know what I'm waiting to see is a game where each round the team that can pick a map just says we'll take Volk. That's going to happen, I'm sure, at some point, unless there's some rule I don't know about that says you can't do that.
I think it's actually happened already. I think a lot of these teams are just deciding with such a small map pool that it's just advantageous for them to just take Volk.
Yep, there's not a whole lot of randomness or variation going on just because of the map bans at the moment. So it makes sense. You know, I think it's not a terrible strategic position to take. Some teams, I think, will still continue to pick maps just because they feel so strongly about performing on certain maps. But yeah, I think this trend is probably here for the duration, or at least until we get the full map pool back.
Right. I'm excited for when that to happen, you know, having maps like Snow Peak back. And, you know, even to extent having Tanker, you know, there's always those off-ball kind of maps that just spice things up a little bit.
Hey, maybe someday we all get a little twinkle in our eye, we can get custom maps too.
A lot of twinkle.
When we really have hope for the future, that's when we'll start playing custom maps.
Right. So we the first objective actually is in Chinatown. I think this is, other than the North Stair, pretty much the most unique objective on this map. It plays the most different, I'd say. It's very open compared to most of the map, which, you know, kind of has like these set entrances and lanes, and, you know, there's a lot of spots that you can ambush enemy players coming to attack you. But at the same time, if you lose control of the situation, it can be really, really hard to defend. If you lose like an entire flank, and then you're gonna have to cover 2 doors.
Yeah, and I particularly like it when we get a south spawn too, the quick spawn of this, and it looks like that is exactly what we're getting.
Awesome. We are running right into round 1 here. Let's get this started.
Now you said they can't throw anything before 4:45.
It looks like we got a flashlight. Some interesting metas coming around the flashlight, I think. People putting the flashlight and that's exactly what happens. We got a flashlight blinding anyone coming up the horseshoe stairs from Rypick, giving him some maybe advanced notice. They hear Kagan running out there. Rypick gives his position away, but gives information to his team. We do have a shield from Pero. Rypick is now going to have to... he gets grenaded from Pero. DMT shoots Nick in the back, unfortunately, but does confirm Rypick there. Unfortunate. Really strong push in the south. Got 4 players, and 1 died as well.
Yeah, Lumpy over here in the south just seems to be all on his lonesome. I know that feeling because I've played that position many times. It looks like maybe Kagan will come over there, but for the most part, they are pushing full team through the horseshoe area, led by Pero with the shield.
Field's actually been working out really well for them. He's been giving them information and being able to make those peaks without endangering himself. Valor shoots, Fitz as well, trying to just... Nice reaction time from Pero, putting his shield up just in time to stop that flash. Fitz repositioning into the north alley, trying to get a shot onto Pero, but can't quite get his arm here. Another utility coming out. Flash. Fitz is stuck, but nice shot. Maybe he didn't get flash there. It's hard to know. Red Beardsley comes out with a frag. Ooh, perfect. Just in time. Red Beardsley tries to push the advantage, gets taken out. DMT takes out Red Beardsley. Fitz gets a refrag on DMT, and Kagan gets the revive on Pero just before they come around the corner in force. Look at this movement speed on Pero. He's pushed his shield to the flash and then right back onto the enemy players coming to shoot him in the face. Really good play from Pero.
That was a critical revive. I can't believe how fast he got that off.
Right. What a tense. He's like trying to grab his rifle here. Kagan tries to push around the corner, takes out Fitz. Now it's just up to Lumpy and Valor to defend this objective. Oh my gosh, that shot just pulls his rifle out and shoots him one short burst and he's dead. Flash comes over the wall. Pero and Kagan run back into cover as best they can, both players being flashed. Pero sounds like he heard the movement from Lumpy and gets that crouch off just in time before he gets his feet cut off by bullets. Pero with that one-handed rifle.
Pero, the MVP of that round, that was some incredible shield play on his part.
Oh, man. Oh, that would have been perfect for a replay.
Would have been.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, so that was really awesome. I have not seen shield in some time. And they did it. They used it so well there. You know, they got information. He killed, what, 2 players? Basically 3 because he was able to get that frag out. I mean, basically MVP of that round.
Well, the other key component of that is he had really good support. I mean, that one moment where he got down by the grenade from Fitz, I believe, there was just a tiny sliver of time where Kagan could run up and revive him, and he did. And if he had not done that, it would have been Kagan versus 2, and very easily could have gone to Entity there. So not only was Pero playing the shield very well, but his teammates were supporting him very well. So if you are an aspiring shield player, that's a good highlight reel moment for you to watch.
I would totally agree there. Yeah, it's just hard to not be blinded by how beautiful that shield play was. He just pulled his rifle up and just confidently one-handed and shot 2 people. I mean, I'm still blown away by that.
Indeed. And I will say it's nice to see the shield balance now, because as we all remember, it used to be pretty overpowered, but people are adapting now and using the new version of the shield very well. Harrow putting that on full display in the last round. Oh wow, we're gonna get back-to-back south spawns now.
Back. Alrighty. Let's see how they choose. It looks like we're going to be getting another shield. Rypick, Valor, and Lumpy. Looks like they're going to go underground and come up the stairs. Meanwhile, 2 players go up. Ooh. Go up the south stairs here. Nice conflict between Nick G and Kagan. And Call Me Fitz. Ooh. Neither player able to connect there. Nick G and Fitz exchanging fire. Frag comes out, or Flash comes out. Fitz pulling back, using that 100-round drum to his advantage. Oh, Nick thought he had another flash off on him, but he didn't, and Fitz gets that pick onto Nick G. He now takes the opportunity to reposition, go to a different area now that they all know that he's coming from there. Got a shield duel going on between Pero and Lumpy. Rypick with a nice support for Lumpy there. A 1-2 punch. Legionnaires down to 2 players. Entity up 4. This is going to be a tough one to defend.
I have to say, there's some poetic justice there after that last round that Pero gets taken apart by a shield team.
It can be hard. Both teams seem to be very good at using the shield and working in buddy teams there.
Indeed.
So if you're DMT and Mahao, what would you do here?
Well, they're doing the right thing. They're just watching the objective, staying close to it. I think flanking right now is not an option, so they just have to be patient. They're going to have real problems when that shield comes around the corner, though. Maybe Mao could put some utility on it once it gets called out. But, yeah, Fitz is coming around the north, too, so they could get encircled if they're not careful.
You can see here we have Lumpy with his shield trying to shoot around the shield, get shots on, not quite able to connect. I think he's at least wounding him. Grenade comes out, or flash comes out. Mahao's trying to push the shield, but can't quite get him as he comes around the corner and Rypick gets that confirm onto him. Oh, DMT almost gets taken out by Rypick and pulls around the corner just in time.
Ooh, and Fitz is coming on the north alley too, so even if... Oh, never mind.
That was going to be a tough one, no matter what he did. Yeah. He had 3 players bearing down on him all at the same time. Dang. This has been an exciting set of rounds. Everything happening so quickly. What's your thoughts on that that round there, Theta?
Well, I think... Hold on. Pardon the noise, everybody. Become an institution in my cast, I swear. But what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted by emergency services is that I thought that was... I mean, an excellent offensive round there, and it wasn't just because they played the shield well. I mean, that played a big role, but for example, Fitz came up, he had a little bit of an exchange, his teammate went down ahead of him, but he ended up getting somebody, and then he did a full rotation. Actually got 2 up there, if I remember correctly, so he did that, and then he did a full rotation rather than just charge ahead. You know, he would have had a full encirclement at that point. It would have been 4, so 3 coming from the south and 1 in the north. Overall, just very well executed offense, and Legionnaires were not ready for that. So yeah, this is great. We're seeing some excellent play on both sides here. We'll see what happens on this next one.
Wow, this has been brutal, quick and brutal. Both teams know exactly how to use a really strong offense to push the defenders and really challenge them.
Indeed. I mean, that's part of what I love about Subway. I'm sure you feel the same way, is just how quick and brutal it can be.
Right.
It can be exhilarating.
It's so much fun. I love this map.
It's
Everyone should play it more.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is everybody should be playing Subway more frequently, please.
Round 3, 1-1 so far in this matchup. Who will take the edge? Do we have It's the second platform objective here. This one's quite a tough one. There's so many avenues of approach for offense, and if you lose control of this tunnel that DMT is slowly approaching here crouched, it can be really tough for the defense to really cover this objective, as that player can get those picks or risk a fast cap.
Yeah, you have to play this one very carefully because, like you said, there's just multiple angles to come at it. And it's very easy to get locked in, especially if you're on the rail right next to the objective on the south side. A lot of people get fixated on that, and they don't pay attention to the map side, the north side of the objective, and they get capped on.
All right. We got a 3-man push coming through the basement right now.
Yeah, DMT is about to come up and meet 2 people. Oh.
Gets his confirm before coming around the corner here. He expects no one else to be defending in this area, and Valor Magnus is able to take him. Nick G hears the gunfire go up, decides to push and rush up onto Valor Magnus. Flash is pulled from Valor Magnus. He is able to get it off. Nick had cold feet on that, but is able to get away before Valor can use the advantage of his flash.
And meanwhile, in the basement, Mao, Kagan, and Pero pushing up with a shield.
Really cautiously here. I think they're trying to stay silent by going as slow as possible. So, you know, a player like Fitz over here in the north trains can't hear them as they're below, as sound occlusion on this map is quite poor. There's not very much insulation in the walls and the floors of this building. It's quite old, as you know. So you can hear the movement of players below and above you quite clearly.
Well, cut them some slack. They made the subway system in New York back in the 1800s, all right? They were just sending horse and carriage through the rails at that point.
You would know, wouldn't you?
Yes. It was a simpler time, a better time.
All right, Pero and Kagan are peeking over the crest here of this stairway in the middle. It can be quite dangerous to do so, and lo and behold, right pick shoots Kagan right in the face. Now here we go with Pero grabbing a rifle. Will he get some more one-handed rifle madness? Oh, Pero is so quick on that shield. Good support from Mahao. Getting a shot on the right pick as he tried to push the shield there. What's going on in the rest of the universe? Not much. Not much. Looks like we're getting a rotation around the far south side.
Yeah, Nick running around pretty much the length of the map to do a rotation there. Pero is going to come up on the south basement stairs, though.
I'm with you there. The defenders are really tucked in, though, and it's going to be tough for especially a shield to really be impactful here, as he's going to have to defend himself from all angles, not get shot in the side, and still make accurate shots with his pistol or with his rifle. Looks like he's kind of aware of that, and he's going up with 2 hands on his rifle, trying to get a shot into Lumpy, who is watching his stairs. Call me Fitz, exchanging fire. Mahao gets the shot, tries to get the cap off, but Valor is able to defend that. Critical rotation from him. Nick knows where he is at and throws a flash, getting Valor Magnus. Quickly runs around trying to shoot through the doorway, expecting that the flash came from behind him, but it didn't. Nick throws another piece of utility, another flash, possibly getting Valor Magnus. They do not have much time left, though. 45 seconds left on the clock. A lot of rotations in the last 30 seconds of the map. Oh, Nick trying to take out Valor Magnus, not quite able to confirm that. Ooh, brutal ending there. Legionnaires coming out just slightly behind Entity, able to take this round.
Well, Entity had a really good kill box going on there, so I'm not that surprised they took that round. They had somebody on each side of the objective. They had somebody on objective. It was going to be tough, especially with that much time left, for anybody to make a meaningful push without at least getting spotted. So,
right, yeah, I think that they did. I think Entity had a great like you said, Killbox, they really kept that down. And when they did lose a critical member of the defense there, Valor Magnus did push around and did stop the cap that was going to happen from Mahau.
Yep. So good defense there. This is a tough objective to deal with when you're on offense because you're so out in the open. You have to run on the platforms. It becomes this little game of leapfrog where you're going from one track to the next because it's so dangerous to hang out on the platforms. It's just easy, especially with everybody wearing night vision, to spot somebody running around on the platforms. And the moment you come out from one of those basement stairs, your head sticks out pretty badly as well. And if the defense is set up with a kill box like that, you're going to have a hard time, pretty much guaranteed. We'll see if Legionnaires can put on a similar setup or not.
I liked how they did use, like Legionnaires did use all the avenues approach available to them. They did rotate when they met stiff opposition where, you know, maybe they would trade, but maybe they wouldn't. And then they would be down a guy. And instead they tried to flank and go from different directions. And it almost worked out for them.
Yeah, very close.
Jump right on in here into round 4. Map 1. No smoke or C4 in this game for anybody wondering, so we shouldn't see any C4 in this. This map is often quite notorious for the impact of C4.
Indeed. Yeah, especially the basement objective. Not having C4 changes the game substantially.
Right. Interesting play by Fitz. He's just kind of waiting here at the top of the south stairs, waiting for somebody to come up and try and do a flank. Maybe he's expecting that Legionnaires was going to try a more aggressive style, but doesn't look like they're going to be making that much movement. Everybody's just kind of taking their positions and holding tight. Got one here in the south train. Couple more north towards the north trains. One of the farthest north one and the middle one. Both sides just watching out. Pero is in the basement. And he shoots himself.
Oh, no.
Unfortunate. Probably feeling great right now. Just as Valor, Magnus, and Lumpy were coming out. Probably was taking fire at him. Really unfortunate when that happens. And now Legionnaires is going to have to be really careful about this basement attack.
What's interesting is I doubt that Entity heard that shot or knew where it came from. So Pero could, I mean, obviously you don't want this to happen, but just, you know, to make lemonade out of lemons here, he might have the ability to just feed information to his teammates if he can see down that track.
Right. Hopefully they don't notice his sneaky body playing dead, as it were. Kagan is kind of watching the south approach here. Rypick is coming around the corner here, but it will still be a little bit of time before they meet up here. He has a choice here to make. Is he going to go through the boiler room, or is he going to go right down the middle? Looks like he's going to take the boiler room approach. Kind of funny how it plays out where Kagan is now watching the boiler room like a hawk. Maybe he heard him.
That laser keeps hitting the doorway, so I imagine he heard something.
Yeah. Both players playing it really careful here, neither wanting to make the first move and get shot.
Well, what's interesting is Lumpy's coming up on the other side too, so he could get distracted if he starts hearing noises or somebody starts shooting. Red Beardsley just flashed. Oh, never mind. He fragged DMT.
Good communication from DMT calling out that his position has been compromised. Not much time left for this entity attack, although they are making good gains. Rypick taking out Kagan. Call me Fitz taking Nick G, and wow. Entity taking the round. So what happened there at the end?
I don't know. I mean, what I was thinking before I could even say it had ended, but the whole objective area was uncovered at that point because Kagan was about to rotate out. Rypick got him. I think he had heard all the noise that came out of Red Beardsley's push from the horseshoe, and he realized he needed to get closer to the objective and support his teammates. And so that entire south side was open. There was nobody there. I was thinking they were going to go for a cap, but it sounds like they just finished the job, which makes sense. I've said this many times, but go for the W if it's there. Get the cap if you can, but it's more important to just win the round. Really unfortunate that Pero downed himself there.
I think that was critical.
Yeah, I mean, because there were, two people in the basement, and they never even saw his body, as far as I know, because he was still down at the end of the round, and he could have had an excellent angle on both of them. That could have changed things dramatically, and he could have rotated out to potentially shoot people that were coming onto objective, too. So it's a real bummer that happened to him.
Yeah, I think he was gonna get at least one there because they had one player that was just standing kind of in the hallway looking around. Basically on the open for him as he was crouched or prone and just watching out, but it's just really hard when you accidentally shoot yourself.
Yep. Seems to be a problem mostly with the shorter rifles. After he downed himself, I looked at his loadout and he has a G36. I think G36 and Mark 18 are the ones that are downing people the most, although we've also seen people downing themselves with pistol on the shield too. So I don't know. I don't know what the pattern is there. I haven't had that issue with LMGs, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
The LMG is the best.
Yeah.
All right,
that's not evident.
Shield?
I don't know what it is.
We are getting another shield. I expect a strong north push out of this one. Yeah, we are. We might even have a 5-man push. Basically,
like,
with one on defense here.
Well, yeah, Mao and Kagan are hanging out in the back.
Flash goes out on Beersley. Oh, DMT comes around the corner, takes out Beasley, and that grenade from before by Nick does confirm him. Valor trying to get shots on, even this out, but Pero's shield does protect him from those bullets there. And grenade is going to come out from Pero. Utility coming out there, almost getting Valor from Rypick. Oh, DMT downs Valor, and this is quickly turning into a dangerous situation for Entity here. Oh, poor Pero throws a frag trying to confirm that body, but Kagan steals it from him.
Excellent play.
He had an LMG too, I just want everyone to know. Sounds familiar,
Yes.
doesn't it?
The LMG Brotherhood in full effect. Yeah, so if Rypick goes down here and Fitz, well, I guess Fitz is still a threat. So if these two get taken out, there is cap potential.
We got a deluge of fire coming from Kagan, but Rypick comes around the corner. Excellent 2 shots, takes him out. Fitz confirms Kagan. Mayhow takes out Fitz. DMT takes out Rypick.
Oh, Lumpy's
and
running,
it's
though.
open. The cap is happening. Arrow is on objective. Tablet out. Putting it in. Lumpy coming around the corner here. Flash comes out. I think it hit him. Everybody seems kind of confused here. Oh, nice. Mahao and Lumpy too. Or Mahao takes out Lumpy. I heard of... Did you hear that too? They had a stun pistol.
Did they? Oh, I didn't hear that
they
part.
did. He stunned his body at the end there. He's like, stay down. Stop resisting. Oops, I did it wrong.
Aside from that one match, which we will not speak too much detail about, from the round robin last season, I have not seen anybody use a stun gun. So that's unique. That is unique.
I think it could work on this map. You know, there's kind of a lot of set positions that people can be in, and knowing which floor everybody's kind of on, you'll kind of know where they are. Like, oh look, they have 2 people in the trains, and you know, there's like one left at north or something like that, and that could be really powerful. And with all these kind of tight corners, and you know, if you take somebody out in the nook of the north or something like that, or maybe you took someone out in basement on a different objective, you could actually feasibly get the stun off and get the tablet hack.
I can just see the gears turning in all the bronze players' heads right now that we've mentioned this. So let's hope that somebody comes out and does it now. I actually want to see that. I want to see somebody use a stun, and even more importantly, I want to see somebody hack a tablet on cast.
I don't know if it's happened. Probably once or twice.
I'm sure it's been done, but not recently, I guess. That's what I should be saying. And DMT was dropped, but he has just come back in. I think that's what's holding up the round here.
Yeah. We'll have to see how this match plays out here. Just waiting for the teams to be ready. This objective is just so much fun. I wish I could be like, hey guys, be right back. I'm gonna go play around with them. Theta, take over.
You know, it's just a lot more fun if you can play with James, though, because he can just rain grenades.
Yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful when he does that, and he just throws a grenade, and then the grenade, and then the grenade.
It's green apple season.
Alrighty here. Fitz is on a roll, 7 kills. Right pick not doing so bad for himself either, 5 and 3. Nice spread over on Legionnaires as well. And I think that they've been using a lot of great teamwork on their pushes. I'm not a fan of the shield, but when you see that beautiful teamwork between the shield and his rifleman, I can't help but feel just a little something, you know?
It is pretty spicy, seeing it done correctly. And I will say, so I was mentioning before that round started, like, the shield used to be pretty overpowered. I think it's pretty balanced right now. The problem with the previous iteration of the shield is you could sprint with it. And you could sprint without any consequence. You could hold it in front of you and just be like a movable tank. And the speed that gave people was just such a problem. But now you have to make that trade-off because you have to run and be exposed or keep your feet exposed or something, and then you can kind of plant your feet. So it becomes much more of a tactical weapon, and we're seeing that now. And it also, I think, just really encourages much more teamwork, because with the high-level shield players, it used to be, and I know you remember this, it used to be that one really good shield player could just wreck a team. And now it's much harder for that to happen, but a good shield player with a good support squad around them is very dangerous.
Yeah, I think his shield's in a good place right now. Maybe, some minor changes here and there, but I think it's definitely way better than it was in 1.7. It just, like you were saying, it's not a movable tank, it's a tactical tool. It's a teamwork tool.
Yeah.
And the teams that choose to use it have to deal with its downsides as well as its upsides. And on some of these maps, it can be really powerful still. As we're seeing here, it's making and breaking plays.
Yep. I'm just trying to come up with things to say to mask the sound, but
Yeah. Yep,
right?
again, that's happening.
Yeah.
Are you having
This
a
is
party
my-
over there?
Yeah, motorcycle and ambulance party. You should come.
Woo.
Bring drinks and food, please.
It looks like we are rolling into the next round here. Round 6. What's going on over here?
Yeah, try not to flash each other. Just flash.
Try not to flash each other. That's a good adage to live by.
That's a good strategy for sure.
So pretty interesting here. Entity is choosing to take this objective in a completely different way. Kagan and DMT choosing to get pretty aggressive here with your utility. Flashes go out. Beasley also threw out his, but I think both sides were flashed there. Red did throw a frag there, trying to catch anybody rushing around the corner, which I think is a great idea. Unfortunately, they were also flashed in, so they didn't really make any movement.
Beardsley is hanging out with a shotgun. Ooh.
Unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But they do get that off. Oh, shotgun takes out Kagan. Oh, and he takes out DMT. Confirms Kagan. Gets his reloads off there.
-2.
Wow. Did you see that?
Yes, I was watching that whole thing. I'm just speechless watching shotgun play like that. But
All right.
good job.
All right, kids. That doesn't mean use shotguns.
Yes. They can work. They can work, but I would not recommend them.
Looks like we're getting a flank from Pero going up the horseshoe here. What's everyone else doing?
That's interesting because he ran past Fitz, who it looks like he came down through the horseshoe, but he came down on the opposite side.
Did he? Let's see. Yeah, you're right. He's on the stairs here, looking out, trying to get a pick. But everyone's kind of tucked in. What's left after that beastly shotgun?
Yeah, and Beardsley is about to get surrounded. He doesn't know that, but Nick G and Pero coming on either side. Nick G, he is close enough that the shotgun could be a bad thing for him, but Pero is far away. And there it is. It looks like he has he had a flashlight as well, which probably helped there.
Red is just being a terror. I don't think he knows Pero's coming up behind him, though. That said, nobody is covering objective, and if Red just runs onto objective, gets his tablet out, we could see a cap.
Ooh, Mao is running back, though.
Flash goes out. Red just shoots his shotgun, trying to get him, runs out of ammo, and Pero does confirm him. They will be able to get back on objective. That said, Mahou paid the price of that rotation getting taken out by Rypick. And now it's just up to the south push from Marsoc Entity to bring this game and close it out. Or can Pero one-man defend this objective? If they don't do any rotations, this is kind of one of those objectives where we could definitely see that happening, I think.
Indeed. It's not impossible to hold this down as one person.
There's only 2 minutes left on the clock as well, so if Entity is going to do a rotation, they are going to have to do it quickly here. Pero's probably like, I wish I had my shield. You get some indication of where the enemy players are as shots ring out. They have eyes on Pero, trying to take him out. He does make that cross. Successfully made that cross. Peeks out, takes out Fitz. Gets the confirm.
Ooh, 2v1, 1:15 left.
He's playing with fire, doing all these rotations across the street here.
Let's see, maybe he tosses some utility here.
Oh, and Valor takes him out on one of those rotations. Entity takes the round and the map.
A valiant effort for Pero there.
Yeah, it was a great last stand defense from Pero. He was taking him out. He was putting rounds down on them to keep their heads down. Took out one before he went down with 3 bearing down on him, so it was definitely commendable.
For sure. Nothing to be ashamed of about that. He almost had it. I mean, 2v1 there. Just some bad timing on that rotation, but could have held that down, but I don't know. I mean, he still took some people with him. That's what counts.
He did his best. He didn't give up.
Yep. I mean, if you're 2v1, the odds are stacked against you. You should expect to lose in most situations, but I would also say the silver lining is he didn't get capped on, which is very important.
Right. I wonder what we're going to be playing next.
What do you want to play next?
It could be anything at this point. It's not Suburbia, it's not Cargo, so I don't know what to say.
So Legionnaires gave up map pick initially, so it'll be Entity's decision here, assuming they don't take Volk. So
No,
I would
actually
guess
it'd be Legionnaires again because it's the second map. 'Cause
Oh, you're right.
They
Entry
chose
zone.
Subway. Yeah, so
Yeah. You're right.
mm,
Let's see. So if Legionnaires are picking, and I know Legionnaires play style, I would guess Downfall, because that's kind of their bread and butter. They're very good at long range maps and the more deliberate style of play, which is probably why I think they suffered a little bit on this map. It's not really up their alley as much. So that would be my guess, either Downfall or Quarantine. But now that I've said that, I'm sure they're going to go to Bazaar.
honestly, I think we are gonna see Downfall. That's probably my guess for Legionnaires. That said, it is kind of hard to choose Downfall, as you have to go into Marsoc and win one of those Marsoc rounds, which can be pretty brutal. Quarantine. I think that was the second one.
Yeah.
I think both of these teams like the more measured, more movement focused maps where you can get some rotations in and you can tactically move around your enemies and get a flank on or what have you.
Indeed.
Starting with a tank objective, I think this one's hard on both sides. It's hard to defend but hard to cap at the same time, which is kind of weird in Onward because usually there's a pretty good spots to cap in. But this objective, I don't know of any, because you're really exposed no matter where you cap in.
Well, it's hard for both sides. I mean, if you're going to defend it, like hang out in the mall, for example, you're visible from a long way off. So, for example, somebody hangs out in North Roof and you're in the mall, you can get picked off. And I don't know, I guess you could hang out in the Pit of Doom. That's a little spicy too if you have to rotate. They could also come in behind you. It's just a tough objective in general. I don't feel like there's even that strong of an advantage for the defenders.
I don't think it's... I hate defending this objective.
Yeah.
Once you lose control, you're like, okay, just hold on. I need to rotate all the way across like 2 lanes or whatever. Just hold on.
Yeah, if you're the guy that's not on objective, you are in trouble.
And if you're on objective, I feel like you're always in trouble. Like, it's so hard to not die in those little rooms. There's, you know, you got like the hospital roof looking down on you. You got the actual north roof from back in 1.7, still there, exactly the same, looking down on you. Not to mention old burning in the center. It's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, I've seen some people play this sort of northwest corner successfully because you can kind of hang out there and there's not quite as much visibility. But even then, if they're approaching from the south, you're easy to spot. Yeah, it's just like anywhere near this tank courtyard now is just so hard to deal with as a defender. You can't hang out on the tank. There's just too many angles there. I don't know. It's just ugly. It's real ugly.
Yeah, it's been really interesting seeing how the meta plays out on this map, though. I kind of feel like early on when 1.8 just came out, we weren't necessarily playing League, but a lot of people were using Tank Courtyard, going up to these center walls kind of things and looking through the gaps and really pushing out from there, and that was really prominent, and I feel like it's not as much the case anymore. At least not as widespread as before, but I could be wrong. What do you think?
No, I agree. Agree completely with that.
I like the hospital roof and how it's really strong, but also, honestly, kind of a death trap more than anything. I see most people just choosing to sit in the doorway itself and watch more like the west on the objectives where that's, you know, relevant.
I've seen some people playing on these AC units on the west side when they know it's the, what do they call it, the gas station garage objective, and they can just kind of watch down from there. But yeah, there's such a trade-off now, although I feel like it was necessary, because if you had just the north roof, like you had in the previous version of Quarantine, the north roof was just too powerful. And it was an overpowered position. It was highly elevated, lots of cover, and you could just rain death on people, especially if you're like me and you use an LMG. But now you've got 3 different roof surfaces, and each one is pretty spicy, to put it lightly. I mean, especially on top of the plane building, crash building, impact building, whatever you call out you prefer. You have
The
a ton of
Trigger James
visibility.
building. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
No, that was necessary. Thank you.
Continue.
So these all sort of counter each other now. If you're on top of one of them, they're powerful, but you don't want to hang out there for too long, which I think was needed. Balancing out that one rooftop area has made this a much more dynamic map, in my distinguished opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree there. I think that they really took a chance adding. They're like, okay, so this north roof is kind of OP. Let's just add a bunch more roofs, and it actually I think worked out well. And they did actually remove, not necessarily remove, but change, like the south wing is totally gone. Instead, it's a hospital, which I think is a lot more dangerous of a position. In addition, the burning buildings are completely changed from before, where you used to just hide in the door or the what do you call it, the stairs, and just only your tiny little head was poking out and you could barely see them. They're a lot more dangerous, but also they're still strong. So I think they did a really good job of balancing the verticality, which can be so strong in FPS games. Not especially in a game like Onward, where it's not just an FPS like your traditional. These players are, in fact, aiming and standing and crouching and going prone in real life to do these movements. So they can really contort their bodies in a way that it's really hard to see if you have the map designed in such a way that allows them to really hide. The case in point being the burning stairs, where only their tiny little head was poked up, and you just put your arms up in front of your face and tilt your gun to the side, which you can't do that in an FPS game, like a normal pancake shooter. There's not that much fine control, so it's kind of a double-edged sword, and it's what I really love about Onward and just any FPS or VR FPS game is it's just you're in the moment.
Agreed. And I don't know if you've experienced this at all, but I played a ton of Quarantine 1.7 and previous. I still kind of have a hard time visualizing it now. I've played this new version so much. It just feels like the Quarantine to me. And I think part of that is just because I think it's a better map. Like you were talking about, if you played against any of the best teams in this game on this map, you were going to die so many times because they had just figured out that one spot on Center Burning, like you said, or South Dunes or whatever, where they knew they could just peek a tiny little sliver of their head, tilt their gun, and you wouldn't see anything except a muzzle flash when you died. And that was really frustrating. But now I feel like this map has been leveled out a ton, and it's just a much higher quality experience.
What I think about when you say that with the top teams and all that is coming out of the west side, kind of that far northwest spawn, and going through that mid alleyway, going towards Sarlacc Pit in the north roof kind of area, and just getting your head blasted off instantly.
Yep.
I was just like, what's going on?
It's quite frustrating.
And we just got started here. Sorry for the delay there, folks. But we are getting into round one. Like I said before, we are starting with the tank objective here. Both teams chomping at the bit to get started. Got one lone player kind of moving up towards the north roof courtyard area, maybe taking APC. Nope. Okay, he's just going right outside north wall.
Just want to say, Reinhardt mentioned that he said he wishes Jungle was back.
I wish that Reinhardt was gone.
Yeah, I mean, shame on you, sir. Shame on you.
Love you, Reinhardt, but sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
No. And right here in Tank Courtyard, they do have one kind of in that same spot you were talking about, but they also have one coming up from this ramp going down to the basement, kind of like a secondary position. Flash goes out onto Pero and Kagan. Not quite able to connect. DMT takes out Lumpy, and
oh, that was a drop.
Oh, I was wondering if he where'd he go? I was just trying to find him. Now Fitz and DMT are battling it out in the far east. Who will come out on top? Pretty interesting having this defense all the way back here, expecting somebody to flank all the way around the side. And I think that having, out of anyone to drop, that was probably the best for them, for Entity, as they were able to have Red Beardsley still covering objective. Ooh, DMT definitely hears Fitz. Neither player willing to make that first move here. I don't know if Fitz is aware of DMT, other than generally that he did take someone out there earlier. DMT is slowly making his approach. If Fitz goes around the corner here, he will get a nice angle on the DMT. Oh, and he's peeking. He's slowly peeking, but not quite willing to totally commit around the corner there. Oh, who's going to come out on top here? Both players kind of slowly pushing away from each other. DMT sees him, just barely tries to take him out, but Fitz does come out on top there, taking out DMT, shoring up this back.
Back on the objective, Pero and Kagan are almost on it now.
Oh, Beasley does catch out Kagan. I don't know why he keeps calling Beasley. Red does take, or right pick takes out Pero. Shield not able to defend him. Fitz responds to this call, comes around the corner, takes out Kagan. Good response. And now
That's three. That's E.
it's all up to the two players left on Legionnaires, one flanking on the far east, northeast, and Nick that's all the way back. And I think he's got
He launched a drone.
Yeah, drone.
It's on me right now. And he launched it and then he ran. I'm assuming he did that as some sort of distraction, or maybe so they couldn't pinpoint where the drone was coming from and then kill him as a result.
Right. That's kind of an interesting tactic to do that and then move the drone after a while, because then they'll think that he's there. I've never thought of anybody doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen somebody do that, at least not knowingly.
Legionnaires is going to have to up the ante here and make a move, as they have a minute and 20 seconds left and both players are pretty far off objective. Meanwhile, they're not going to actually see very many people because Fitz did push back onto objective, condensing in right pick, the only player kind of sitting out far away. They find the drone and take it out with, I think, a silenced pistol or something?
No, he's got a silenced SKS right now.
No, okay. SKS, interesting choice. This is the closest thing to a long-range shotgun. I'm going to use it. I can't knock him, though. I mean, that was beautiful shotgun play the last map.
Yeah, he certainly used it in the right situations.
Yeah, the few times I've played with Red in pubs, he's just been a terror with that shotgun. Here's the timer. And he knows that he's got to make a move here. He's going loud and proud, running into the mall. Nick, meanwhile, approaching on the other side. They definitely hear Mahou.
Yeah, they hear him.
He
dropped his weapon.
Oh, right pick tries to get a shot on Mahou, not quite able to finish him. Fitz takes him out, and Nick runs out of time. Unfortunate.
Yep, I think we've all had that feeling when you're trying to make an approach and then you hear that beep and realize you haven't been checking your watch. It is never a good feeling.
Well, when you don't, like, when they all tuck in and are hiding and taking these really tight angles, it's really hard to just push, because you know that they have 4 or 5 still up, and that if you push too aggressively, they're just going to shoot you when you run around a corner not checking it.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, what do I do?
Yeah, it's a bad spot to be in.
And to be fair, I kind of think that Nick was kind of taking like the supporting role, trying to support Mahou's push onto objective.
Yeah, it made sense to put up the drone and see if there are defenders in specific areas. I think The problem is that they were just doing it a little too late, and it's hard to time. I mean, these are both experienced teams. They know what they're doing for the most part, which should tell you how hard it is to time those attacks. And the problem is when Mao's attack didn't really happen, Nick G was a little too far off.
Right. We did have a drop, so it'll probably be a minute before we get going again. Not quite sure what's going to happen, who they're going to pull in here. Maybe the same person. They just maybe have to restart something. Is there any area of quarantine that you wish was like the old quarantine? Can be big or small.
No, I don't think so. I'm going through the map right now, just trying to remember the exact structure. But I think just by and large, this is a better map. I would say just as a defender, I guess, center burning was way more viable because it was easier to hide in. But just because I liked hanging out in there and killing people doesn't mean that it was better.
Right. I would agree. There's not too much I miss from the old one. I know a lot of the more OG people than us even are really like, I miss old quarantine.
Well, people want returns on experience, and people have been playing the old quarantine for a long time, and they want to be able to take advantage of the experience they've gathered on that map. And this has become sort of the equalizer, and you know, people don't necessarily want to say it out loud, but the truth is a lot of vets are just upset about that. You know, they say, well, I've spent years playing this map. I want to be able to, you know, utilize the knowledge that I've gathered. And when that doesn't happen and they feel like a newer team has a chance against them, I think that bothers some people. But truth is, I think it makes the game much healthier, and it makes sure that everybody progresses and doesn't just live off of the returns of their experience.
Wonder if we're going to see changes to more of the old maps. If they're going to get kind of a facelift, or if this was just kind of like a one-time thing.
Well, in terms of facelifts, can we just vaporize Suburbia?
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking is, you know, it would be really good if Jungle got completely remade. But I don't know if that's really feasible, as the shrubberies are really hard on computers, especially the Quest. So I don't know if we're really going to see a big revamp there. I think a jungle-like map could be so much fun if they really put a lot of, you know, care and thought into it like they did for this map.
Same. I think a jungle theme would be great. It's just the jungle creation that they put forth was not particularly good. How about maybe a volcano themed map?
That'd be cool. I mean, I've always wanted to do customs with like more, you know, triggers and stuff, and like things happening, and everyone has to kind of react to that, and it changes how the game plays. But it's pretty difficult, and it's really only the devs that can do that kind of play. You know, the custom map makers don't have nearly as much control as they do. So maybe we'll see something cool and interesting.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, I'm not. I messaged about the missing player. I haven't gotten anything back. We might be here for a minute.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll right into an intermission here. It should be a short one, hopefully. Just trying to get that last player in here. Do stick around. We'll be back shortly. here we go.
Are we live, dude?
Hello, everybody. We're back. We got a new player back in. We got Eric subbing in here. Back to a nice 5v5. Let's see how Entity chooses to attack this objective. Red runs right into burning right off the bat here, maybe trying to get a pick from the second story here.
One just ran to the north roof.
Oh, they spotted out north roof, the north roof approach. Nick takes shots right at Valor and takes him out. Where was that? Hospital. Ooh, that's aggressive. He's really out there. Nick all the way in hospital right now, hoping more players come in here so he can ambush them. Right pick is coming around at white car now. Could see a confrontation from him shortly. Or not. As Nick takes out red in the burning. Nick on a roll.
Wow, and Lumpy is running right past two defenders who went all the way to North Roof.
I don't care about you. I got places to be.
I've got things to do, guys. I am not hanging out here.
I'm not here to shoot people. I'm here to cap.
Ooh, he pokes his head out. Just some crazy timing up here in the north because he poked his head out to check and they had left. So as far as he knows, there's no one in the north.
Right. He should kind of know that they're somewhere near there, though, as Red did call him out. Eric takes out Fitz.
Northwest.
Where was he? They're just so spread out. Well, I wonder if Lumpy will respond to that, and it looks like he will not. He decided to keep to his own game plan. Nick choosing to get a little risque, looking getting onto the hospital roof. Meanwhile, Ripek's still in impact building here. Coming up here, he might see Eric if he continues running around in the open. But he's kind of behind that air conditioner unit, and he's not going to quite get a vision onto him right away. Let's see what Lumpy's doing. Slowly coming up from behind objective, choosing to stay slow. That way no one can hear his movement. Shouldn't really see anybody for some time here as Keegan is on the other side of the objective. And Nick might see him depending on where he's looking, but he kind of looks like he's facing the other direction here. Yeah. Meanwhile, Ripek is trying to duel it out with Eric on the north roof, but he's not quite able to connect, and he's going to have to run around and come into a different direction. Let's see. Meanwhile, Lumpy choosing to go under the garage area. Trying to, maybe come up from under them, something they won't expect, but he's going to have to do it pretty quickly here, as there's a minute 30 left. Meanwhile, Ripek choosing to slowly stalk up from the impact building. Maybe get a shot off onto the roof here. Eric staying low. That's the thing about Legionnaires. Once they get into a nice position, they're hard to root out, as they're really good at holding their angles and staying as low as possible. Lumpy trades with Keegan. Ripek sees the top of Eric's head, but not quite able to get him. Pero takes out Lumpy. Finishes him off with his Makarov.
True gentleman. And Ripek all on his lonesome at center burning. Although I feel like that should probably have a new call out because there's nothing on fire over there.
Pero gets a little antsy looking out and around, but gets taken out by Ripek. But that does give Ripek's position away. Ripek takes out Eric knowing where he is. He runs up to objective. He has 20 seconds left. Mahou has to get in range and defend this objective, otherwise we might see a cap. But Nick held his position on the hospital side roof.
Ledge,
And it
maybe?
takes him out. Yeah.
Although we've already got the red ledge in the north, so I don't know.
The red ledge.
The red ledge.
That was a interesting gameplay. A lot of action and then a lot of careful movement going on there. Everybody afraid to go forward and stir things up. It's like I don't even know what to say. But like they're just both kind of moving up and doing their own thing. Everyone's in their own mind.
Indeed. I'm seeing, on the offensive rounds at least, a little lack of composure there in terms of working as a unit. But both teams playing pretty solid defense. Although I have to say, I was a little shocked to see Legionnaires with such an aggressive defense. It's just purely from experience with them, I haven't seen them play positions that forward on defense before. They worked out, though. But like they had 2 people on North Roof on that objective. I was not expecting that.
Right. I think they just know this objective is harder to defend, and you know, if you control the high ground, they don't. So maybe you can get some picks and then rotate.
Indeed.
And we did
Yeah.
see a little bit of that.
Yep, as long as you don't hang out for too long, because if your people on objective go down and you're up there, you're going to have a real bad time.
And you know, even if you know the person that was on the roof got taken out in the end by right pick, he kept his attention for so long, forcing him to just kind of run right at objective and hope it would all work out, giving Nick that opportunity to just shoot him in the back without a fight.
Yes, from the hospital ledge, the ledge of death.
All that matters is winning, right? So, you know, no matter what your KD is, if you can stop them from moving for like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, then you've really won it for your team.
Yep, if you can cause hesitation in the offense, even if you're not necessarily getting a ton of kills, that's so powerful.
Let's see, what objective do we have now? Looks like the gas station objective. No?
Yep. And not gas station,
Yeah,
Volt
the
Garage.
Volt Garage, yeah. I was like, I don't see it.
Although, this is another one maybe needs a new call out because that little garage area is gone now.
Right. They really just wanted to mess up all the callouts and make us mad. That's what I think.
Obviously.
That's what they were going for. Right pick taking up a position in center burning fits in the Volk Garage area, just holding it down. Lumpy on the red ledge area from the far west. And one player I am forgetting, or 2 players, Red and Valor in the hospital. Right pick calls out North Rooftop. They got a shield as well. He's not afraid to give his position away in order to get some information for his team. But if he continues turning like that and exposing his side, he might get taken out by Valor. Drone goes out as well. Looks like Legionnaires is very keen on using the utility available to them to get information advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody has picked up on the fact that there's a shield on the roof right now.
I think there is. They did call out somebody on the roof, and Para was just sitting there with a shield out. Meanwhile, Nick has made a move into the crash building here and catches out Lumpy, but Lumpy ducks down just in time to not get his head cut off. And if he's not careful, Lumpy's going to come back and shoot him. You might know where he is, but he knows where you are too, so definitely get into cover when you do those call-outs. We've all done that too.
Yep.
It just, those memories flood back into my head when that happens to me. I'm like, darn, why didn't I think of that? Eric does make it up into Impact Building as well here. Might be able to catch Lumpy unawares. Ooh. Anytime now. Rypek taking some shots over towards the north. Eric, nice headshot onto Lumpy. More or less, anyway. Arrow taking fire from right pick, but with his shield, he's just hard to take out. Meanwhile, Mahao is slowly creeping up on him. Oh, but his support from red covers him, taking out Mahao. And taking out Kagan up near the north. Eric doing a nice long shot, getting a pick, and Fitz takes out Pero. Red is still alive, though, so he is going to be able to sit on that roof and give callouts.
Yeah, I don't think Eric knows he's the last one up because as he was firing, I think 2 of his teammates just went down. And I didn't see him check his tablet. Oh, yeah,
and there he is taken out. Entity takes the round. That's the thing about those LMGs, man. Like, they're just so loud. It's just, they honestly suck. And, you know, the people who use them, they...
Are superior? Yes, I know.
That's, you know, not quite what I was going for, but, you know, there's something.
Well, that loudness can work against you, but it can also be your best friend when you're trying to push up in a tight space. You don't want people to hear you. So I'll just, I'll remember that next time you want audio cover, bro.
I'll just turn around and shoot you for my audio cover. I'll get the audio cover once I get back into the tent.
There you go. Now you're thinking like a pro.
I had no idea, okay? Could have been anyone.
So anyway, Entity, really good defense on that. Pretty interesting position by Fitz in particular, hanging out in that little wing root area on the airplane. I don't think anybody was anticipating that. Pero ran out thinking he was safe with the shield, and Fitz had an excellent angle on him there. Just it's really well clustered around the objective.
Right, we're seeing some new and interesting positions that, you know, obviously weren't possible in 1.7. There wasn't a crash building in 1.7. There wasn't a big old crashed airplane. Kind of odd how we didn't see that or notice that in 1.7, you know, but...
Well, I feel like there were hints in 1.7 because you had the 2 wings. You did have the big turbine smashed into the mall building. So it's like, yeah, you knew that something had happened with an airplane going down nearby, but now you just see, yes, the airplane crashed right in the middle of a city in Utah.
So basically, we put our glasses on and we're like, oh wow, what's that? How long has that been here?
Yeah, fun fact too. I think I mentioned this on a previous cast, but James was talking about how the shadows don't fit for a city at the latitude it's supposed to be in Utah. It's actually more like the latitude you'd find in Norway. So now that you know that, you're welcome. Fun fact to fill your mind with.
That's what we all care about in Onward. Making sure the shadows are right.
Exactly.
That said, I think the devs have said that they wanted to brighten up the map again because they kind of went a little overboard.
Yeah, I have to say I actually like the new update cycle. They seem to be really on top of the major bugs now, and the game is getting better each week, or each update cycle, I should say.
Pero calls out the east approach. Sees maybe the top of Valor's head every now and again. Valor trying to get an angle on him, but not quite able to do that. As it's really hard to see in those windows.
Let's get Eric takes shots at Redbeard.
Red wow. Takes out Eric.
That was a nice shot. I mean, Eric was in a very dark, concealed position. I didn't think he would win that.
Let's see. Valor and Peric taking shots at each other, neither able to connect. Meanwhile, the rest of the offense kind of just spreading out, doing a battle line, trying to get vision on the enemy players, maybe get a few picks here. Valor taking some shots at the roof area, just hoping to get lucky, shoot some in the windows. Really keep their heads down and keep them guessing. Meanwhile, Red is pushing up on the hospital right now. Pero is ready if Red doesn't be really careful about this entrance into the building. He's going to get taken out. Pero pulled out just in time to be hidden from Red. And now Red thinks it's pretty clear, maybe. Oh, and he gets taken out by Pero, who is kind of just hiding in that dark corner there. Tries to call it out with his dying breath. Dedication.
He's in hospital.
Maybe he was going to say, I need a hospital.
Yeah, I mean, that is the best place to get shot if you think about it.
Right.
Oh, and
Ooh.
Mao gets taken out by Rypick from the Pit of Doom. Nice shot.
The Pit of Doom, huh?
Yeah.
Is Sarlacc Pit not good enough for you? I kind of liked Sarlacc Pit. It was really kind of weird, but no one really cared about it, and sometimes I would go into it and it could work out for me. Sometimes, though, I'd get eaten by it too.
Yeah.
No one would know.
I feel like the Pit of Doom is just a little spicier in the sense that you can, like, it's powerful, but man, you pop up your head at the wrong spot or you're not careful, you will get shot from there. It's just a lot more dangerous, I think, than the Sarlacc Pit.
Yeah, the Sarlacc Pit was kind of in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Arrow definitely hears the movement of Valor Magnus as he pushes up to the ambulance. Valor calls out his exact position. Lumpy is looking through the window, trying to get a shot on Aparo, but just misses his rotation out of that spot and just going inside the bottom story of the hospital. We might actually see him if he continues his movement here. Gun sticking out, but now he's prone. Valor decides he's, had enough, and he's going to come around and he's going to get the kill for himself.
120.
Valor reminds me of Reinhardt. His voice is pretty similar. Very important facts.
Mm-hmm. Filled with them tonight.
Meanwhile, Rypick and Fitz are making their cross across the center kind of split street here. And with Valor taking out the hospital, it should be fairly clear on this approach. As long as Nick doesn't get wind of their position. Fitz making a lot of noise, though. Nick should be well aware of this movement and know that somebody's on their way.
Lumpy just ran past Kagan, and now he is on Volk Tower.
Kagan takes out Valor. Fitz running out, doesn't check his corner, gets taken out by Nick. Meanwhile, Lumpy
is on objective. Tablet out.
Tablet is out. He's capping. The first cap of the round. Is it going to happen?
I think so.
No one seems to be really aware. Nick, I think, just figured this out, but it's not enough time, and Entity gets the cap off, giving them 2 points. 4 wins total on the map, and giving them the win for the series.
Yep. That was well played there. And Nick G just got caught off guard there, didn't realize he had to rotate. And Lumpy slipped in from the west side and got that in before anything could happen. So, good job there.
Yeah, it was a good push. They all kind of pushed in at the same time. They definitely had a game plan going into it. And Nick did a really good defending his side, but he must have thought that they came out ahead on the north side.
Yeah.
We are going to be going into map 3 here onto Downfall. I wonder if they gave up the pick again. Yeah, they did. So Legionnaire will have to attack on Downfall. Interesting.
I do wonder if that's just going to become the dominant strategy now. Just say, we don't care. Here are our bans, and we're just going to pick Volk every time.
I definitely think that's the game plan for some teams. I think Quest Equals are doing it. Obviously, Entity's doing that. But some teams, though, I mean, they have those maps they're just beasts on.
Indeed.
Be interesting to see if they see the same style of map picking from the more bronze teams, as they generally have a more strict maps that they're better at because they've just had more time on them and not enough time on others, as they're just a little bit more specialized.
Yeah, that's To me, that's what's a little odd about this. Like, I understand the logic, and like you said, I think that's going to be what a lot of teams do. But these are both very experienced teams. I would think that they would be more interested in just, saying, "Hey, this is the, the set of maps we're really good on. We're going to focus on that," rather than saying, "We're going to take Volk." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their heads, but I think either one makes sense. Just depends on preferences, I guess.
All right. Maybe they just feel they're so good on every map that's available that, whatever, do your thing, man. I'm ready for you.
It's like the Onward equivalent of just swaggering into the room and saying, "Give me whatever, bartender."
That's kind of how I picture Fitz. He just goes in, he's like, "Hey, my YouTube channel's really popular, Theta. Really popular."
More popular than yours, bro.
For the newer teams out there, we're kind of just playing around with it, but Theta does have a nice tutorial series for Onward and VRML and just gameplay in general. The competitive mindset.
Yes, and Fitz and I are pals, and that's just a friendly running joke with us about our YouTube channels.
Right. Yeah, so definitely don't take it too seriously. All right, here looks like we are rolling into map 3, round 1. How will Legionnaires attack on this map? As we kind of talked about earlier, this is definitely, I think, one of their top premier maps. And I'm really excited to see how they choose to execute this map.
What's interesting is that they brought a shield, and maybe Pero has just changed his name and I don't recognize it, but I'm pretty sure Pero's a newer player for them, right?
I'm not sure, but I don't remember shield being this prominent, especially on this map.
Yes.
And he's definitely fearless here, as Rypick actually already got into the north bungalow there, the north center bungalow. And also he's getting a lot of good information here. Both the north white tower took fire at him, and he's calling them out. Good strong defense from Entity as well. We got one in the white tower, one that actually pushed all the way up, like I said. Oh, takes out Pero from that spot. I was just about to call out the bunker here in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Nick got all the way up to Sniper Nest and is taking shots down, just kind of shooting into the brothel building windows. Good play there, as you just hard to see in those windows, so just taking shots at them with an LMG, you might get lucky. You never know.
Does happen.
Rypick takes out Mahau. He's kind of being a terror there in the center of the map. Oh, not any longer, though.
That's one of those positions where it's really risky to get in, and once you get identified, it can be tough. But, man, you can really slow down a push from there.
Yeah.
So Nick G running at world record speed to get from the Sniper's Nest all the way to Center Hotel.
He's not afraid of anything or anyone, man.
Nope.
He's going to have to be careful here as he comes up onto Helicopter Bungalow. Fitz is in the building. But Valor from that White House, I think, or White Tower, I think that position is going to become a staple. What do you think?
I agree. I think right now,
that happens.
Yeah, right as you say that. I think that once they fix the window height, it'll be more used. But like, Valor looks like a fairly tall person, and you need to be able to see over that ledge.
Hey, tall people need some advantages, man.
Yeah, so I think the Chief Pineapples of the world are going to have a hard time, but
name bombed.
But truth is, yeah, I mean, they're aware of it too. They've even said, I think in the next version or one of the next versions, they're going to lower the window so everybody can use it. And when that happens, I think you're right. I think that's going to be a standard position from that point forward.
You got to be really careful though, as once they know you're there, they can get you. you're pretty exposed, and it's actually kind of bright for downfall. The windows.
Well, it's a lot like North Hotel in the sense that it's a good spot. You can do a lot of damage from there, but you're also trapped. It's very hard to get out once you're in it. So they identify you, and they've got people, especially in the north. Oh, and Eric takes out Fitz on objective. You know, once they figure out where you are and they start getting around you, you've got problems.
Entity down to 2 players against Legionnaires 2. Both Legionnaires players approaching from different sides here, and if Eric can make that push forward and get in position, it'll be a pretty powerful 2-sided push. Unfortunately for Eric, I don't think he knows that he took him out. Or maybe he does, as he confidently runs in the center hotel. Lumpy and Red have pretty good coverage of the objective. Lumpy, in fact, is just kind of sitting in the bottom story here, waiting for somebody to run in the back, trying to get a cap. Red watching the front of this objective, catches eyes on Kagan and takes him out with his signature SKS. And now it's just up to Eric, who's going to have to rush in and get this cap if they're going to win.
27 seconds. If he can clear out Lumpy, if he can rush in there and get Lumpy, he could do this.
Here we go. Here we go. He's running into the objective here. He's coming around. Lumpy is aware of his position. He runs in for the cap. Does not check the corner, and Lumpy gets him in that little back corner area. And then he takes a point.
That's a pretty good rotation on Lumpy's part to hang out there. You know, I obviously don't want to play the whole round from that position, but you know there's only 30 seconds left to run in there. I mean, they have to go in there no matter what. And if they kill you, at the very least, the other person's going to have some warning, and maybe there's a chance they save the day, although it'd be hard. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are not going to check that corner either. I think it's kind of a surprising spot to hang out in.
Yeah, and he really blends in that pitch black darkness almost in that room.
Indeed. So dark.
So hot.
Well, it is a desert. I would expect it to be warm.
Yeah. Well, when I'm playing there, it's like, 66 Fahrenheit.
66.6.
Not quite that. No. What's it for you? Are you going for like the realism?
No, I just go for the spice.
I just imagine it's like 1,000,000 degrees in your room when you play it.
No, it gets pretty warm in here, but fortunately it's starting to cool off. I'm just glad I'm not in this real environment, because I'm sure it would be extremely warm. So,
I'm sure it would.
Oh boy, yeah, we've got some pretty funny conversation going on in the chat with James educating everybody about proper shadow positions on multiple maps. You're all welcome for that, by the way. You're now getting educated by the master.
Please get all his fun facts out before our next match, please. Save us.
I didn't take two.
Round 2. Firing line starts off with a bang here. Lumpy taking shots. Fits as well. Mahou takes out Valor Magnus. Right pick, meanwhile, is going to play his own game. He's just rushing out there. Redbeard takes a position in the North Hotel. Maybe trying to get a pick from the top of the roof there. I think Right pick caught some movement from Pero trying to get across. Crazy, like cat and mouse here as he tries to cross there without getting taken out by that light machine gun.
One behind rocks on West Road, going center hotel now.
Perfect timing while he was on his radio. Makes it across, gets to center hotel. Really getting out there. Meanwhile, Mahout has a position in the second story right next to objective. Kagan is taking helicopter bungalow, kind of just rotating in and around it. Pero has really bravely, in my opinion, going on the roof there, right as he took a bunch of fire getting there. But maybe he's gonna get a sneaky peek there, and then he can rotate. Meanwhile, Lumpy and Rypick have rotated and decided to go over Marsoc. And Redbeard is watching down on Center Hotel there, and Pero just makes it out in time. The
Arrow just throwing the dice repeatedly on this round. I'm amazed he has not been shot yet, but it's
rolled
working out for him.
sevens. Yeah, it's like he's like a dice roller or something.
Yeah, one of these days he's gonna throw snake eyes, but
Yeah,
we'll
I mean,
see.
I guess you can't roll sevens, but
Rypick about to peek over that south ledge. I think that is going to be. Oh no, Lumpy gets it instead.
Pero is just a madman.
That was a deep flank.
He nearly dies like 5 times, and he's like, you know what? I think I should push him.
I mean, if you're
could have worked out, yeah.
You feeling the spice flow, just run with it, right?
Right.
Across from objective house.
Entity's deciding to take this pretty slow though. 2 minutes 30 seconds left. That's kind of the thing with downfall. Oh, why'd you have to get me stuck in the wall? Oh. Red Beardsley takes out Nick as he calls out, but Mahao gets a nice pick onto him. Meanwhile, Rypick is pushing up. He's made it past the dumpster buildings here. Not quite pushed up yet. Slowly making his approach onto West Road. Lumpy as well on the church there on the West Road. And where's the last entity player? Oh, Redbeard's still at North Hotel. Kagan's gonna have to be really careful here as he's kind of out in the open here. He just kind of has the edge of the building defending him from Rypick. But if they do continue to make this push around on the West Road and swing wide, they will see him and catch him in the back.
Kagan is watching. Oh, no, never mind. I was on the other side of the building. He is not watching the West Road, and Rypick is sneaking up on him right now. Interesting that neither of them are looking at each other, and they're so close. Rypick is concerned about mid-hotel. I think he realizes that Pero was the one that was running out there.
Okay, Rypick making a little bit of noise as well on his mic, and Kagan might be aware of that.
If he goes down, Lumpy is in position for a refrag.
Eric kind of has his back as well. Rypick coming around the corner here. There should be a confrontation here. Frag goes out. Rypick gets it. Comes around the corner here. And if he doesn't get down low, he's going to get taken out by Eric, who takes him out as he rushes, trying to get into the bottom story of the cap building. Look up the 2-story. Eric and Lumpy trade. Really good refrags going on here, but they're gonna have to make a move.
Yeah.
Fitz realizing he just has to kill them. He just has to kill them, otherwise he's gonna lose.
Fitz throws his weapon. Yeah.
Fitz. Oh man.
I mean, we've all had that feeling when you realize you're the last one up and there's no time left.
I like that Fitz had that self-awareness. He's like, nah, they're not gonna peek. I know my know thy enemy. Might as well just throw my gun away.
Let's provide the viewers some entertainment in the meantime. Well, you said it before that Legionnaires, once they are dug in, they are hard to pull out, and that was a great example of that. Because they just... Those are the skills, excuse me, those are the kinds of positions where you just have no choice but to confront them. And they were so spread out, it was not going to happen. So, rough round, the Legionnaires take 1. Let's see, what's the objective we're dealing with now? We have lower dumpster, so there's potential here, potential for the quick spawn.
I'm always happy when it goes back and forth between the sides and really kind of just varies it up in between rounds. Because this map, you know, there's so much map to it There's so much maneuver. It's nice to have kind of like a change in pace. Have different buildings you're gonna have to clear and what have you.
Exactly.
Right pick doing pretty well for himself. Lumpy as well, 3 kills each to their name. How and taking out 2 for himself, and Eric really dominating with 4. So early too, only 2 rounds. Jump on in here into round 3.
We are not getting a quick spawn. We are getting the northeast spawn instead.
Let's see how it goes down here. Are they checking? Yeah, they're definitely checking. These teams know where all these spawns could be. They know where they can get to without taking fire here. Shots already rang out, pre-firing, just kind of shooting over and hoping to catch someone out. Red calling it out. Firing line has been compromised.
There were some lasers going
Ooh.
on Lumpy, who took this interesting position right underneath the sniper tower.
Right pick ran all the way up to Marsoc. Actually caught somebody out as they were trying to approach the Marsoc hill, and now he's going to possibly get into confrontation with Nick, who is on the tank. That was spicy bit of action so early on. I didn't even think he was going to see anybody. Ooh, nice shot right under the trees. He takes out Nick G. Doesn't quite confirm it yet, but that's going to be a hard revive for him. Right pick gets the confirm. Fitz takes out right pick. Got too many kills. Too many kills for Fitz.
Yep, just needed to steal some thunder real quick.
You didn't follow the game plan, and you get to die now.
What's interesting is, again, we're seeing a shield running out in the open.
Try to stay out of sight of white corner.
Pero and Eric at the red truck, upper and lower, kind of the in-between space there.
Kind of seemed to be a duo. Eric with the LMG, Pero with the shield. Make up for that lack of second rifle with just a deluge of fire.
Mm-hmm.
As they make their approach, crossing, getting into position, Red just deciding to stay on the bottom floor here. Kind of bounce between that and the second floor, and maybe get, or not even the second floor, the roof. Really running out there, seeing if he can get a pick. And actually, he's just in time. But Eric sees him first and downs him. He's in a good position to give callouts, though. Shots ring out. Valor downs Eric in a nice confirm back. Legionnaires down to 3 members. 1 revivable, probably going to get res.
No.
It's got the shield to res him.
Okay, I'm done.
It's another benefit of the shield is if you need to do a revive, even if it's out in the open, you can do that fairly safely.
Right. Got an interesting position from Lumpy. Has he been there all game on the red truck on the far west?
He did. He ran out early. That's the one I was watching right when they started, and they actually put lasers on him. I don't know if they saw him or not. I don't think anybody shot at him.
I didn't. I was trying to watch the action of right pick. Arrow is going to be in danger from Lumpy, in fact, if he continues to make this push.
Minute and 41.
Minute 41 seconds, says Pero, and they got a lot of ground to cover. I don't know what they're going to do here. Eric, shots ring out, thinks they saw somebody in the dark room. Those 2 little windows there on the left, right in front of us. But unfortunately, it's just so hard to see in there that there actually isn't. Red takes out 2 nice shots, gets the res, and immediately gets the 2 kills there. Definitely be like, thank you, Fitz, for that res. Now it's just shield versus the world. Oh. Oh.
Wow, that
Oh,
grenade was so close. He could have gotten a double on that if it landed.
that
But
would have been definitely insane here. He's 45 seconds left. The whole enemy team knows where he's at. Trying to take him out here, and it's just a game of cat and mouse here as Fitz comes around the back. Arrow's got to get moving and get across here before Fitz, takes him out, or they just run out of time.
yeah, I mean, realistically, they could just hide right now. There's no way that shield is getting on objective and capping in 25 seconds.
Instead, they rather just shoot at him. What can he do? He's a shield. That said, you have been taken out from like a metric mile away.
Well, that was in 1.7.
I guess not a metric.
We don't
not
need to
metric,
speak
is
of
it?
that moment. Yeah, metric miles don't exist. James just
It
had
was
an
so-
aneurysm.
Okay, I'll be honest. I was just trying to trigger James. All right. So that's the thing about downfall. It's just so hard to get in position, check all your corners, check all the windows, and still move forward fast enough to get up to the cap in time. And when you run out of time, you just got to make those really risky, rushes across the open there. And when you're playing, it feels like it's been like 2 minutes, but then you look at the clock and there's like less than a minute left, and it's like 45 seconds, and you're like, crap.
Well, we've talked about this before, but each map has its own form of time dilation, where in Downfall you think a minute or two has gone by and you look down and there's 45 seconds, or on Cargo you feel like 20 minutes have gone by but it's only been a minute. It's just a matter of adapting to that and figuring out the rhythm. And actually, Legionnaires had a decent push there at the end. They had 3 people well lined up. They just did not account for the sniper on the roof. Especially they thought they killed one up there. They didn't realize he was resable, and then Fitz ran up there and got him. So
Yeah, I bet he was almost bleeding out at that point.
It had to be very close because he was up there for a long time. All right, we get a little bit more of a spicy. We didn't get a quick spawn, which is a little disappointing to me, but we get a slightly better spawn point in Marsoc now.
Well, he's gone up on top of the Nyx is on top of the fence. I didn't know that was possible.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I've never seen someone do that.
That's really could be good. You got a lot more vision than anyone thinks you can. Eric choosing to do the same kind of move that Rypick did, going up towards the Marsoc hill, but the entire enemy team's there, so if he's not careful, he's going to get taken out. Narrowly misses Rypick running across, and Valor and Eric are about to get in a confrontation in the alley. Eric comes out on top. Fitz, Red, and Lumpy are probably aware that something is fishy has gone down over there. Keegan has made it into White House here. They've got a pretty good position to really tie in the Marsoc push now, as 3 of the players are all in Marsoc. So many lasers going right over other enemy players. So narrow, so close. Any moment now we could see an explosive set of action. Wow, there's a hole in the roof of the center bungalow. Sorry, I just noticed that. I was like, huh.
There's 2 holes in there, so if somebody's holed up, you can throw hold up, but you can actually throw grenades through that roof and kill them.
I knew about like the regular. Ooh, nice shot from Rypick.
Thunder down.
Taking
Yeah,
that was a crazy shot. Yeah, he just saw the tip of his head just for a second there, immediately pulled in on him and took him out. He isn't aware of Mahau, who was also in center, confidently calling him out. The center was clear, but that was not the case. Eric has this interesting side position, just sitting kind of here in the alley here and waiting for people to run by him. It is kind of risky, as someone could come around the back, but with Keegan giving him backup, or at least a refrag, I think it's, an interesting position you don't normally see, and I kind of like it.
Yeah. Quite a tandem there.
Keegan deciding to reposition.
And Fitz spider crabbing his way down into the valley. This is the power of White House, though. The moment somebody knows you're there, everybody gets more cautious and tries to deal with you, which it actually is working out really well because Kagan's rotating now.
Yeah, Eric's kind of coming around the corner here. Sees Fitz. Fitz tries to pull his gun over into Eric, but not in time as Eric does come out on top in that engagement. As long as he doesn't get shot by Keegan in the back, it's going to be great. Meanwhile, Red and Lumpy still at Marsoc. Red trying to hunt down Eric. And kind of like you're saying, they're all just concerned about that White House. And I think that no one has really realized that Eric isn't in the White House. And that, you know, Keegan in the White House isn't really the threat here. But maybe he is now as he's come back into the White House, rotating back in there. Pretty sure Red did see him jiggle peeking right at the window. And he's just kind of waiting for some kind of movement here. Maybe get the shot on. Ooh, just... Ooh. Oh, takes the shot. Now he is definitely... Keegan is definitely aware that someone has eyes on him. Eric is ready to respond here. There's not much time left. And really, this two-man push into the White House and into the Valley has really worked out very well for Legionnaires.
Oh, they're so focused on White House.
Lumpy is running out in the open. Eric is... Oh, turns around just in time to see Lumpy. He almost makes it through.
Oh, but he missed Red running out. I don't know if he's going to see him now if he looks down.
There's only so much Eric can do, man. He has been a beast. Just kidding. He can kill everybody.
Was that a squad wipe?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell us. But he took out at least a sizable chunk of the other team there.
Let's see. Eric with 8 kills. I'm pretty sure it was either a 4-man or a 5-man right there. So
yeah,
hats off to you, Eric. That was really ballsy play. I will say that was ballsy, man. That was ballsy, but it was good.
I have to say, I like that tandem they had set up. So everybody's focused on White House, and he sort of shows up and cleans everybody out when they try to assault it.
Well, yeah, think about it. Like, Eric shoots somebody in the Valley. You're like, oh, someone's in the White House, right? Like, you're not going to expect someone to be in the Valley, especially if they don't push from the Valley after getting a kill.
Yeah.
Eric did the right choice of, hey, I got a kill here, but I have a good position. And everybody has like this preconceived notion that, you know, anybody who dies in the Valley dies to White House, most likely. So I think it worked out really well from there. And I don't, you know, everyone has different plays for different maps and objectives, so they kind of have a mix. But I don't think that's something Legionnaires necessarily does all the time. I could be wrong, but I would definitely be caught off guard from that play.
Same.
And sometimes sometimes those plays can really work out for you.
Yeah, because I mean, the way most people play White House is they kind of let the other team envelop them. And I think that's what most people expect when they're pushing on, is that they're just going to let this person sit in that White House and potentially get killed just to waste time. But kind of playing off of that expectation by having the other person next to it. Certainly something to think about for anybody thinking about strategies.
Anybody going?
Rolling
Okay.
into round 5 here. 2-2. Trading rounds back and forth. It could be anyone's game here. Lumpy and Rypick getting really aggressive, running out in the middle of the map. Lumpy choosing to take kind of like these center sandbags, and Rypick making it into this center bungalow building. And he makes it. Keegan is kind of aware that someone might take that position. It has been a point that Rypick has taken in the past. But it's just so hard to see in those windows. Calls out somebody on APC. What's going on here? Meanwhile, Nick is pushing all the way around to get up onto Marsoc. And kind of like this kind of battle line starting to slowly form here.
Can he go far north, Sparrow?
Got a east
If he can go far north.
kind of focus, but Nick is going to be a nice pincer movement once he gets all the way out and around the defense.
And Pero has a shield again. He did get called out,
What Center Hotel?
so they're aware that there's a shield,
Ooh.
but... Oh, nice shot.
One bullet too. The first one connected with Red's head. That's what you got to do with those LMGs. They're just, you know, so inaccurate, right, man? Like, you got to be really strong in the first one. Right pick takes out Nick G. That north push has been taken out. Meanwhile, Eric is running out in the open. Right pick takes him out as well. And with that kind of center bungalow area, it's going to be really tough for Legionnaires to, you know, really push this without taking him out. Getting these center bungalows is so critical on this map, and if the defenders are able to get a hold of it, they have such a commanding position over the whole battlefield. And now Mahau is going to have to basically sit here and hope that Right Pick exposes himself. Otherwise, they're just not going to really be able to make a move without really risking their lives. In fact, he takes out Pero as well.
Rypick just terrorizing the offense from that position in the middle of the map.
Mahau gets taken out by Right Pick as well. Expecting Kagan to get shot at any point, but he's just staying low, so maybe Right Pick can't see him from there.
Rypick just crossed the double-digit line. He's now 10-4 after that kill.
What a beast.
Yeah, Rypick and Eric having excellent map today. Maybe it's the CK at the end of the name. I don't know.
Kagan is like, you shot all my friends. I'm going to take you out.
Oh, yeah, he's by himself with 1:56 left, 4 up on defense. This is going to be a challenge, to say the least.
He's just got to YOLO it. Run out there. Hope that Right Pick isn't watching, and he isn't, as Right Pick has decided to exit the building and just run around and try and get a mad flank on. It's a tough position for Keegan to be in. He has got a lot to take on all by himself. Right Pick just kind of standing out in the open back. I wonder where he went.
I mean, if he ran into that little dip next to the crater building and ran towards the west road and did not get spotted by Rypick, maybe it would happen, but this is...
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, they just narrowly missed each other. Kagan ran into the building, taking out Rypick, but he's got a minute left now. 3 entity players to deal with. He's going to have to get some mad picks here. Trying to do so. They already know where he is, so he might as well get those pre-fires off while he can, while he's in cover. But he's got to make that move. He's got to push across. He's got to try to get to objective and get like a lucky cap. At this kind of stage in the game, you just have to... Oh. Lumpy gets eyes on Kagan. Fire shots ring out. Both players suppressing one another, neither able to connect and make the killing blow. Quick frag comes out, trying to catch any player doing any rotation. And Lumpy, ooh, tags Kagan, but he's going out. He's bleeding profusely. He's trying to come around the corner. His tablet is out. Fitz waiting and shoots him through the door crack. Entity taking the round.
I mean, hats off to him, really. He almost got onto the objective, even though he had 4 people, and they all seemed to know where he was, too, just taking rounds like a tank, and he almost got there. I mean, he had 7 seconds, which is pretty hard to cap on, but still, I'm amazed he even got that far, so credit where credit's due on that final push.
Yeah, is this Onward, or is this like an action movie? Did someone shoot his dog or something?
Yep, John Wick is amongst us.
Yeah, I really liked that. It was fun to watch. And what I was trying to say before is, like, at that point, there's like less than a minute left. You got to make that choice. How am I going to win this round? You can either try and cap on the objective, or you can try and kill the entire enemy team. And I think that he was trying to go for more of the kill strategy, trying to catch them when they get, you know, excited, you know, that they still have 3 or 4 up to 1, and start making these really exposed rotations, and catch them off guard, and, you know, maybe get a round upset.
It does happen. It's, you know, it's unusual, but you will see that occasionally. Somebody just does something so out of left field when they're the last one up, and they clutch the round in a way you would never expect. And they almost had something like that. And he was injured. He's like hobbling to the objective with his life's essence coming out of his guts, but he still got onto the objective effectively. He was almost in cap range by the time he died.
Yeah, it was heroic. I can't say anything less.
Yeah.
All right, so Legionnaires 2 points, Entity 3. This could be match point here with Entity. If they win this round, they will win the map as well. Alrighty. That's the thing with Downfall, man. It's just taking a Marsoc round is so hard.
Indeed. No matter how good of a team you are, downfall is always daunting for the offense.
Got a couple in Center Hotel here. We might see some fights go on between Red and the Pero, who I think it says a sniper rifle.
Or behind it and knows exactly where the fuck I am.
Gosh darn it, Red. What did I expect? Oops. Meanwhile, we got Kagan on the helicopter bungalow. Shots are already ringing out, though. Right pick, I almost got his head cut off, maybe. Meanwhile, we got a far flank from Lumpy going towards the end of the ravine entrance or whatever. Pero and right pick trade. Crazy. That's now neither team knows that there's one down for both teams.
Yeah, interesting how that worked out, because you're right. The kill count has been diluted now. They're going to have to work with that. And kill count is just critical on this map. It allows you to figure out how to flank, how to move, what areas might be safe or not. And both teams are now blind to at least one area of the map because of that trade.
We might see competition between Lumpy and Eric. They are technically exposed to one another, but they're both pretty hard to see here. Neither player really seems to be concerned about one another, and Lumpy is going to run across the hill here, and he should make it to the dumpster buildings. Meanwhile, off in the far northeast area, Valor, Magnus, and Red have pushed up. Red has upper red truck. He is confident. 2 minutes,
Red.
45 seconds left. Red at red truck. Yeah, that's right.
I don't think he was ever on the red ledge, was he? That's too bad. Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Shots ring out from Valor, just kind of trying to pre-fire in those windows. It's tough. This is a tough one. But they are making good time here with 2 players running onto West Road. Fits with Overwatch on the hill.
They actually have a good setup right now, in my opinion. That changes things a bit. As does that.
Mahau or Red and I already forget. Valor were taken out. They tried, but they were just entrenched in those rooms. Mahau in the second story of the helicopter 2-story, and Eric in his back brothel bottom story. Keegan shot onto Lumpy as he approached, I believe, Center Hotel.
And Fitz is all by himself in the South Valley. Minute and 40 to go. He's pretty much on the opposite side.
I might as well just pull a pistol and just kill a bunch of guys.
Fitz singing a motivational song to himself.
Of course, the pistol fits.
I have no kill count.
Yeah, we could just follow Fitz and he'll do all the commentary for us.
Exactly. He just said he doesn't have a kill count, which it's like he was reading my mind. I was about to say that as well.
Waiting for him to tell us if he remembered to do the laundry or get dinner started.
I should really buy a boat.
Boat, huh?
Just what I'm imagining is going on.
Shots ring out. Fitz just kind of shooting into the window there. Mahao reacts. Eric just slightly missing Fitz as he approaches the center hotel here. Fitz has no choice but just to continue pushing. Nick is in the second story here. He hears the movement from Fitz. Shots ring out as well, but Fitz is not done. Eric takes out Nick. That's all he's gonna needs to do, and Kagan jumps over the edge there, just quickly taking a shot onto Fitz, giving Legionnaires a 3-3 and bringing this to match point.
Wow, that was wild because he was just kind of firing shots for firing shots' sake in center hotel, and the defenders thought that meant he was in the window, and so they actually team killed. I'm sure that was not deliberate, but it's just interesting how that worked out.
It worked out in the end there for him, though.
Yeah, 3-3. You know, I've said this before, but I love to see this on the final map. I mean, the match has already been decided, and so it's very easy for both teams to just kind of loosen up and say to hell with it, but neither team is doing that. They're both playing for keeps, and Legionnaires could take a map right here and save themselves some MMR damage despite the loss.
Right, always play to win, even when it's the third map. You gotta just keep trekking on. At the very least, it's gonna be really good practice for you. Everyone hopefully is still in match time, match mindset. And it's always nice to knock them down a peg, even after they win the series.
Yep. You should, you know, at the very least, you should walk away from every match feeling like you gave your full effort. And I think, to me, that's really the way to display character as a team, is to say, no matter what happened on the first two maps, we're going to finish this strong and not just goof off or throw it because we lost. So, again, great job to both teams for maintaining that attitude and also just giving us a good fight to watch in the end, too. I just know as a caster, it can be kind of a bummer to watch games where you can tell one of the teams or both of the teams have decided not to take it seriously anymore.
Right. I'm gonna roll right into the next round here. Round 7, the decider. One of these teams is gonna win this map. And who knows who could win here? This is a nice spawn, I think, for this objective. Just gotta be careful about those quick peeks. Fitz up on Marsoc Rocks there. He's got his, what I think is like 2 times. What are you guys shooting at? I want to know. Suppressive fire going out. Everybody's firing. Everybody's shooting. They're trying to distract him as Pero and Eric have pushed all the way up to the lower dumpster, and Eric has made it in. No problem, no foul. Valor takes out Nick on that approach, but Eric is in position, and Pero is also ready to run onto objective here if they can get this pick. Valor has been taken out by Pero, and now the defenders are going to have to scramble here in order to defend this objective. Lumpy doesn't really have vision on it. Redbeard almost takes out Pero, but Pero's able to get up into a dangerous position. Shots ring out. Eric takes out Red. Rypick is taken out by Mahao, or Downs Mahao, I should say. Fitz really needs to up the ante and get in here. Eric takes out Fitz. What's going on? Pero is on objective. He's capping. Valor calls out the caps. Fitz is already down. There's nothing they can do here as Lumpy is too far away to stop this. Flash goes out. Oh, that's actually, there we go. That was critical. Keegan takes out Lumpy. And now it's down to, where is he? Rypick was doing some crazy flank. Gets taken out. Legionnaires take it. And a brutal push.
Man, that was just in stark contrast to every other round this map. They just went went crazy there, and it worked. And that aggression really paid off. Entity was not expecting that, clearly. I think they were expecting the more measured, conservative approach that you normally see on a 3-3. But a little bit of surprise can go a long way, as we just saw.
Yeah, wow. The blood is still pumping. Crazy. I did not expect that. They had 2 LMGs firing. They're just ripping it up, and everyone was so distracted by it that they were able to push up all the way. Pero and Eric were able to push all the way up the West Road unopposed, make it into the lower dumpster, and just this crazy battle goes on, and people are dying left and right. Cover fire is just blazing. That's what you want to see in a map like Downfall, is those just crazy, courageous pushes. You know, it doesn't matter that they have these strong tucked in positions. We're gonna push up, and we're gonna really bring the aggression to you. That was crazy. We almost saw a cap even, and it's just so exciting when you almost have that cap, and it just narrowly saved by the skin of your teeth with that, like a flash grenade or a frag just stopping that cap attempt.
I thought for sure that was going to be 2 points, and then, like you said, that flash saved the day. That was such a critical throw there to save themselves that MMR damage.
Yeah, that was a great way to go out from Legionnaires, bringing themselves up, getting a point or a map point, bringing it 2-1 or 1-2, I guess, for them, but really showing that they're not going to give up, and they're just going to keep playing to the best of their ability. And even more so, they're going to try something crazy and different. And honestly, to me, it looks like they practiced that and really put the time in to make that push work. And I really like seeing that kind of versatility from a team where a traditionally more cautious team can play aggressive, and same for like a aggressive team who can play cautious when the opportunity arises.
Agreed. Love to see teams changing it up a bit, showing some of their creativity and putting their skill on display, not just doing the sorts of things that everybody expects them to do. So hats off to them for that.
Yeah. So this has been Entity versus Legionnaires, brought to you by myself, Monorchid, and Theta. We would like to thank the VR Master League for providing this format for us, our moderators, our sponsors, and to you guys, the viewers. Thanks for sticking along with us and showing this crazy game all the way to conclusion. I bet nobody was like, dang, I wonder if something crazy is going to happen in Downfall. But it did. We have some more matches coming up here. I'm hoping that we're going to see more matches picked up. I'm sure we're going to see some on the weekend, as a lot of games are being held then. Do you have any closing thoughts, Theta?
Nope, just thought it was a quality match. Plus, we got to see Subway, which I'm always appreciative of. So, thank you to both teams for playing. Thank you to everybody for watching. And you have a match scheduled for a cast already, don't you, on Saturday?
Yes, I do. I'm going to be casting Kai versus OJC, the Japanese team.
Ooh, that is going to be an excellent match.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the kind of new reformed Water versus OJC, a really fun and interesting team to watch. Really hoping to be able to bring a spotlight onto our friends in the Japanese time zone as well, and the other foreign teams that you don't necessarily see all the time, but they're always a lot of fun to watch, I think. So should be good. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you in the next cast. Have a good one.
See you later.